This fall is shaping up to be very intense when it comes to mobile CPUs. You have Snapdragon coming out with the new generation of Gen 4 of their chip that's claiming to probably dethrone Apple. But you also have Apple, who undoubtedly will unveil a new version of their chip, which, as we know, tends to outperform other mobile CPUs. So this fall is going to be pretty intense and pretty interesting when both of those chipsets do come out. I am talking about the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4, which in early benchmarks, and we do have that here, is showing great promise and may possibly be able to compete with Apple's A18, which is expected to come out with the iPhone 16 later this year. So in this video, we're going to take a look at some of these early benchmarks that we have from Snapdragon 8 Gen and how they compare to Apple's A18 chip. Again, this is very early information, but before we dive deep into all that information, if you're new to this channel and enjoy staying up to date with the latest tech news, you've landed at the right channel. Please do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell as well. All right, now let's dive deep into this. Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 specs just leaked, and they could blow away the iPhone 16. Now, this is an article out of TimesGuide.com. So we have recent leaks that just came out within the last couple of days. So we're going to take a look at that. So we're going to go through this article. Qualcomm has said that it will launch the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 this October. While we only have seen tentative details about the specs of the chip, the new leak gives us more of a clear picture of what we can expect from the next generation of Snapdragon. There was a tweet that came out, and you can see it right here on the screen. I'm not going to show the tweet because it linked to an article that was in, I want to say, foreign language, Asian language or something, Korean, and obviously I can't read it, but we do have the gist of all that information right here in this article. According to the rumors, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 achieves a Geekbench single core score in the region of 3,500. Now this is higher than Apple's A18 chip and matches the max score that was reported for the iPhone 16 Pro's A18 Pro chip. While there was no actual figures on the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 multi-core and GPU test in this leak, they supposedly exceed the A18 by a fair margin. Continue here. If these numbers are true, then this might be the first time that Qualcomm will manage to exceed Apple's chip's capability in single-core tests. Apple outstripped the Android models with relative ease. This was somewhat countered by the release of the Galaxy S24 series, powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which manages to shorten the gap between the single cores and multi-core score. So we have a quick tab here looking at the iPhone 15 and the Galaxy S24. You can see here in the single core, Apple with the iPhone 15 Pro, it did crush it here with over 2,890, almost 2,900. And we take a look at the iPhone 15 at 2,500. Then you have the Galaxy S24, 2,300. So it kind of closed the gap, but you know, the iPhone 15 Pro is still crushing it. And then 2,200 for the Galaxy S24. Do take a look at multi-core. iPhone 15 almost at 7,200. iPhone 15 Pro, sorry, was 7,200. Then the iPhone 15 was at 6,100. So a big drop off in there. But then you take a look at the Galaxy S24 Ultra. So 7,200 right there. So it did top the iPhone 15 Pro in the multi-core category, and the Galaxy S24 is at 6,900. So very good in terms of if you want to do multitasking, maybe some 3D rendering, video editing on your phone, then the Galaxy S24 series is a good match against the iPhone 15. But single core, you know, just maybe some simple gaming or just web browsing, looks like the iPhone 15 is going to handle that better. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 Prime Core could be clocked at 4.3 gigahertz with a potential power draw of 1.3 volts. These numbers would mean that the chip would run very hot and are beyond many smartphones' current capabilities. So yeah, so that 1.3 volts is not something that many phones right now can handle. So on paper, this looks good for the Snapdragon if these Geekbench scores are to remain as such. But when you turn in terms of putting it out there in the real world and putting it inside a cell phone, you're going to have to probably throttle back some of those voltage. So I don't know if it's going to still be able to achieve those same scores. So again, we'll have to wait to see in the next few months what that score will look like once we actually see this in real world scenario. So again, it is looking like this fall is going to be very intense. Snapdragon is really trying to make a push to dethrone Apple. Again, we know Apple's 18 chip is the A18 is going to have much improved, more cores, improved functionality, and improved performance. So we'll see what happens once both of these chips come out and we run the benchmarks and see what is going to happen. But again, right now, these early benchmarks for the Snapdragon 8 do look promising, but again, with a very big caveat, is running at a higher voltage that is capable that cell phones today are just not capable of doing. So we'll see what happens in the fall. But let me know what you guys think about that down in the chat below. Do you think Snapdragon actually has a chance to dethrone the Apple A18? That is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 chip. Let me know what you guys think down below. Once again, thank you for taking time out to watch this video. Again, if you enjoy staying up to date with the latest tech news, then you've landed at the right spot. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as well. Also, if you have friends or family that enjoy this type of content, make sure you share this with them as they may enjoy this as well. Also, don't forget to hit that like button. If you want to stay up to date with the latest tech news, head over to SoundsNerd.com, where I curate and aggregate tech news from around the web, covering Apple, Samsung, Google, Android, computing, and even more general tech news, all at SoundsNerd.com. And for even more tech news in video form, check out one of these two videos right here. Until next video, guys, stay nerdy.